Welcome to the show, friends. I'm here in Old Salem, well, Winston Salem. If you're like me, when you think of Winston Salem, you think of witches. Until your friend says, no, that's not where the witches are, that's in Massachusetts. Winston Salem's a cigarette guy. Okay, so we're here in Winston Salem, and I've learned a lot of stuff so far. I never really thought about Winston Salem as a destination, but I've been stuck here for 5 days because I like it so much. There's all kinds of reasons to stick around this town. Stopped here at the visitor center to find out what else is going on. Well, it's Tuesday, noon. A lot of things are closed. I cannot tell you how many times I have attempted to open doors, and you just get bored of it if I showed how many times I've tried and things were closed. But I don't know, 3/4 of the things I go to are open, so that's okay. We'll explore Winston-Salem on our own. Let's try the Frank Horton Museum Center. See if it's open. It's in Old Salem too. It's a pretty cool part of town. Definitely some very old buildings. I hear they're all built in 1700s, early 1800s. This is cool. They're not open. No, this museum is closed as well. Striking out here. Oh, here's a map. Old Salem. Nothing is open here. There's all kinds of really cool things about Winston-Salem. It's not just Old Salem here with all these houses built in the 1700s and 1800s. It's things like the Mickey coffee pot, the giant Salem coffee pot back here. This has been around since the 1800s, since 1858. Two tinsmiths, their brothers, they built this to advertise for their business. It's been used for all kinds of different things over the years, including a Civil War soldier supposedly hung out in there and it saved his life. Some kids back in the early 1900s blew it up one time, and they all had to pay for it to get repaired. Since then, it's not really been vandalized, but it's got a long history here in town. What a weird, interesting part of a city's heritage. Have something like that. It's cool. It's a quiet day here on the streets of Old Salem. There's not much going on. Nothing is open. A lot of construction happening on the roads. There's one thing very specific that I'm looking for here in Old Salem. Old Salem is also home to the Salem College. It's a liberal arts school for women. Been around since the late 1700s. Right here in this park in the middle of Old Salem is our next destination. It took me a while to find it, but this is a very special place in American history. Definitely the most unique historical marker you will probably ever see, commemorating the very first 4th of July celebration in the United States, right here in 1783. On the bicentennial celebration in 1966 of Winston-Salem, this plaque was put in that place. It looks like a manhole cover, but just a plaque, middle of the sidewalk. And if you're looking for it, it's right here in this park, right across the street from the college. Right here on the corner of Sprague and Peachtree Street, something very special. Back in the 1930s, two business partners in the area, Joe Glenn and Bert Bennett, owned 7 Shell gasoline stations. And to bring some attention to their business, they built these. This is the very last one that exists. There are only 7 of them made, but it's the old school, traditional Shell logo. They changed it over the years, but there's a story online you can read, some history about the owners of these and why it's here. But this is the last one. It turned into a museum. It's closed, of course, but very cool. Let's go see if we can look inside. So we got the old pumps. So neat. The history of this building and the Shell oil company from the area is hanging in there, but can't really see much about it. Back in 1976, this place was listed on the National Register of Historic Places. And at the time, it was the only standalone gas station that was ever listed. Isn't this cool? Wow. There's a little chimney here. Very curious about what the setup was like inside. Well, you can't see anything there. Not much to see. There's got to be some old timers around here that worked here, or people that's got stories about this place. I'd sure like to talk to them. Looks like they worked on cars out here too, with these ramps. What a cool find. I wish the museum was open. This is very cool. I'm gonna keep exploring. The next thing I'm gonna show you was told to me by a friend here in town. I'm not even really sure where to look for it, but we're gonna find it. Found it. Walked around for a little while. It's very cold today, so I went back to the van and I found it. A little bit shinier, a lot newer, and a lot smaller is the second coffee pot of Winston Salem. When you have one giant coffee pot, you need 2 giant coffee pots. If you're looking for the second coffee pot, it's on Cherry Street between 6th and 7th. I was just walking around the downtown area, driving around actually, and I came across this wall by the bus station. I thought it was pretty cool. Asked a couple police officers about it. They didn't know much. All kinds of little things. It's kind of like somebody emptied a giant junk drawer and just shoved it in a concrete slab out here. It's pretty cool.
What? Who the fuck is France? Yeah, I think the bus got it.
I love finding these weird things all over town. Gosh. Yeah, they're fun as heck. Order. Great stuff. By the way, I'm at Foothills Brewing Company. It's no secret that North Carolina's got amazing beer. Their breweries are awesome. Second only to St. Petersburg, just in my opinion. But this is some really good beer. This porter's good. I've had a couple of their beers since I've been here in town. It's good stuff. I had to make a trip to Walmart. The closest one is in Kernersville. So it's just surprising to me that they have their own Monopoly game because it's such a small town. I don't know how many people are here, but it's not that many. This 22-story office building, the R.J. Reynolds Building, is the precursor to the Empire State Building. had the same architects. I'm really enjoying walking around Winston-Salem. It's been a lot of cool little pockets of town, and it's a nice place to just post up for a few days. It's a little chilly, but it's a great historical place to check out. I encourage you, if you're in this part of North Carolina, stop in. Check out one of the many cool historical places or the great restaurants or bars in town. But for now, I'm going to call it a night, a little early, have a pint before I turn in, get warm, finish some videos for you, my friends. This is where I bid you adieu. Thank you for joining me today on this journey around Winston-Salem. Really cool town. I appreciate it. I really enjoy having you with me on these little adventures and excursions around these places that I've never been to and maybe you've never been to. Hopefully you learned something. You had a good time. I did. Thanks for being here, friends. Hit like, hit subscribe. Please hit subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.